It's time to tool. It's time to tool. It's time to nose the turn.
Hey YouTube, it's me, Matt from Northampton Yu-Gi-Oh! I've got a bit of a dodgy deck profile today. I wasn't able to go to the tournament, so my friend Sam took it. Say hello, Sam.
Hello.
So I'm going to do the deck profile part because I built the deck and put some of my reasonings, then Sam's just going to talk through over anything he feels is important. Okay, the deck was 6 Samurai, so we'll start off with the 3 Kizan. Obviously, this is the best card in the deck. Along the gateway, you just win games, simple as that. We've got 3 Kagmusha, tuner of the deck, it's used with everything, asceticism targets. The asceticism also works with the Kizan on the Zanji, which I'll run 1 copy of. 2 Elder, I find, 2 is fine, 3 is not needed. On its own, it's pretty crap, it's literally just an asceticism target, and because you can grab it with the Kagmusha on asceticism, it doesn't matter.
Also, something about that, that's generally one of the cards that I sided out.
Yeah.
As you only really need 1 for the asceticism play to work, I thought it's still efficient taking 1 out if I need to side something in.
Because after 1's gone, you can always get it back with a gateway or a double-edged or something, so 1 is enough, I would agree with that. 2 Keigeki, same sort of reasoning, it's still a key card, it's easy Shiem plays, it gets you more tokens on everything, but at 3 it's just too much, you don't want to draw that much because it's not an asceticism target, it's also got not as much synergy with the deck. Then the one-offs, 1 Grandmaster, used to run 2, not so important anymore, not running a Landois or anything like that, so it's not as good. 1 hand, it's destruction, it pairs well with Keigeki, that's all that needs to be said about it. Inishi, one of the best cards in the deck. You can asceticism with it using a boosted up Keigeki, but it doesn't really happen ever. But its main effect obviously is banish 2, bounce a card. It is amazing.
This also put a lot of work into the Blackwing matchup that I had because I feared Kalu pretty much every time they just went and summoned a monster.
Bounce all of the things.
So between that, Compulse and Mistworm in the extra deck, I didn't have a Kalu drop me on any of the 3 games.
And the last one of is the Zanji. It's only there for an asceticism target, really, for Keigeki. Its own effect is okay as long as another 6 Samurai is on the field. When it attacks, and if it is not destroyed, it destroys the thing it attacked.
I think I ran that into a red med,
Alright.
which actually helped me win the game because they couldn't get it back.
That's it for the monsters. For the spells, we've got the banned card, or the should be banned card, because it's just way too broken. You'll see we've done some testing videos. I opened it way too much, I got really lucky with it. It's way too broken, it needs to be banned, simple as.
I would agree with that. I only opened it during, I think it might be 2 or 3 games during the tournament, but I won them games. It is the only issue with it is if you draw it later in the game.
Yeah, late game it's not so good. You need to draw it in the first couple of turns, otherwise you probably made your plays anyway, or you've lost. Then we've got 3 Smoke Signal. This going back up to 3 was amazing. I expected when this went up to 3 that the gateway would be banned. There's just way too much surge power in the deck right now, and there always has been. Then we've got main card of the deck, 3 Asceticism. This searches out all of your plays. Targets are the Kagmusha, the Zanjis, the Kizans. It just so much search power, which means you can run solo monsters. Got 3 United, draw power, enough said.
I generally sided one of them out as well.
Fair enough.
Because it's not... I understand that it's an immediate advantage, but it's something that you can let go if you want side deck spaces.
And I decided not to run Dojo in this mainly because of the Evil Swarm setup. We've got a lot of them in our local meta, so I decided to take them out to put in some different spells and traps to deal with that matchup. 2 of them being Forbidden Dress, just to lower attack generally, just so I could run over something. Then 1 OVS, 1 book, same reason really, just to get rid of that Ophion.
Really good.
Yep. 1 Storm, 1 Reborn, one rotor searches everything in the deck, you have to run it. Dark Hole.
Doesn't search everything.
What doesn't it search?
Grandmaster.
That's true, actually. Trap lineup, 2 Solemns. I'm always going back and forth between these. They're high costs nowadays, especially with field spam, whereas 1 negation doesn't matter so much. I'm sort of leaning toward Judgment being okay now, whereas there used to be Judgment no, Warning yes. But Warning's just not as good. This can stop spells and traps, which are more important nowadays. Just the 1 Mirror. I was going to run 3 Compulse, but I just decided Compulse is not good against absolutely everything, so I thought I'll just put the Mirror in just in case. 2 Double-Edged Sword Technique just works with the deck really well. I used to only run 1, but after finding out a few different plays with it, such as getting a Shien back with another monster, then you can sack the monster to keep the Shien. It's just a good move. Then finally, 2 Fiendish Chain.
I didn't see that.
What, at all?
Not at all.
Wow. Extra deck. The Exceeds first. 1 Zen mains. You can make a few 3s. I was tempted to put in a second one, but extra deck space is kind of tough, so I just went on with Zen mains. Number was that 85. Crazy Box. Solely there for the Eve target because I don't have a Key Beetle because we've got a couple of spellbook players at locals.
I actually did. I summoned that against the Chaos Dragon player because they had the red med out and there wasn't anything else in the extra deck that I could go into
So it's just
that would
3k
get
wall.
over it. So I put it down as a 3k wall.
Yeah. Didn't use its effect though, I presume.
Yes, I did.
And how did that turn out?
I got the roll where I will draw 1 card,
Fair
and
enough.
it's 2.
Okay. Then we've got Blade Armor Ninja, just helps with OTKs. Kind of tempted to take this out for, what was I going to take it out for? It was a Maze Stroke or something, wasn't it? Because I also run the Excalibur, and a lot of the times you do just go for the Excalibur over the Blade Armor Ninja, because a lot of the times when you're going for an OTK, you have Gateway, so you spam Kizans anyway. Then we've got Pearl. I switched this at the last minute from a Utopia, again, because of the Ophion. Shockmaster, you can spam Kizans with Gateway and just in general, so it's easy to get out and it's just
Didn't
good.
make it.
Really?
Didn't make it at all.
That surprises me. I made it, what, 3 times against you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got, obviously, the boss card. We've got Shien. I would be happy for Shien to go to 2 if Gateway was banned. I think that would be a relatively fair hit to the deck.
Trade off.
1 Beast. I never made it at all in testing.
I made it a lot. I made it against Spellbooked in top 8, and I think I made it against Light Swarms as well.
And for me personally, when I know what I'm going against, it can be a toss-up between these. If you know it's a very heavy spell lineup, which a lot of the meta decks are, Beast can be better. Yes, it's only got 2/2, but if you're using some of the back row or the dresses, you can protect it, so it can be a better card. 1 Catasta, card is still good, gets rid of a lot of problems. Librarian, semi-tempted to take this out. If I had an Amadeus?
It's something like that.
Something like that.
I think it's the Keeper of Genesis.
Yeah, it's that.
It's the new Synchro 5 in the Jolteon set. Jolt. It's... I call it Jolt. Even though I know it's not Jolt.
But I would have tested that because you don't really do enough double synchro in this deck, especially without Dojo, so it's not 100% needed. Barkion, I didn't make this in testing because I just didn't really need to. Did you make it a lot?
I think I made it... I think I made it once, but it was a bad call to make it.
Fair enough. Gaia, just because you need a generic 6, thing is bad, but I wouldn't run Orient, so whatever. Black Rose, you need a generic 7, tis good.
I was forced to make it once.
Did you use the effect, or was it just
Yes.
bashing?
No, I had to use the effect. I had to get the field clear.
Fair enough. Crimson Blader is the only 8s. You don't go into 8s a lot, and Crimson Blader is probably the best overall one right now, just because it has 2/8 in its effect. And finally, Miss Worm, which is now going to be Trish.
Yeah. Miss Worm put a lot of work in with the, I've already said it, Blackwing matchup.
Finally, side deck. We have 2 Eves. Anything to say? Other than Eve?
I sided them in once in conjunction with the Chaos Hunters that are in there as well. But I didn't see them, but I saw both the Chaos Hunters.
Again, these were mainly for the Spellbook matchup because we've got a couple of players. Mind Drain, mainly for the Dragon matchup. I know there's one player. Was Charles playing it?
No, the brother of the person who has them took them in. The one that would normally play Evil Swarms.
Jack?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Jack's brother.
Fair enough. 2 Rivalry. I actually forgot these when I was making the side deck like a nub. I'm presuming you sided them in a lot.
Yes. I sided them in against Light Swans.
Iron Wall, do you want to explain that? That was your choice?
Basically another side for dragons, so they can't get their special summon from the hands by banishing. It's pretty much it. It does slow down spellbooks a bit because they don't have their fate and they don't have the priestess pop from the graveyard, but they can still remove it from the hand.
We've then got 2 Chaos Hunter. Who wants to play them with it?
Basically, again, for the spellbook matchup, it will twin off with Priestess when it's special summoned. They can't banish the books for Fate and Priestess again. Also, when I was siding in Eves, I was also siding in them as well, as they're also another Eve target.
Fair enough. I just want to say that initially these 3 cards were dimensional fissures, but I didn't have hold of mine, so we just put them in at the last minute from my side decking folder. Then we've got 2 Veilers, Effect Negation is effective. 2 MSTs, sure you have Shiem, but sometimes there's just those things that you need to pop off. Did they ever need to go in?
I put them in against Medolces.
Fair enough,
And
just
against,
field spells and things.
I think Light Swarms when they played Decree on me.
Then finally, Maxis, because drawing is good. Okay, do you want to go over your matchups, Sam?
Pretty much gone over most of them already.
You just want to go over them quickly. What was your first matchup of the day?
It was against Chaos Dragons, which was Damien, I believe.
Yep.
Yep. That went fairly well. I think it was 2-1, and it was in my opinion, it was a really good game, and it went to time. Then after that, game 2 was against Ollie with Evil Swarms. Basically, I just scrubbed out on that one. I just had a bad game. Second game, I went second, and he just put the Oathman on the board, and I didn't have any choices. Game 3 was against Black Wings. Again, really close game, feared Clue the whole time. Had to bounce things forcibly. So at one point he did have Armed Wing and Armed Master out on the field, called Black Whirlwind in the back row.
Nice.
So I thought at that point I was screwed because he'd started farming the clues to hand, but luckily I was able to go into Mistworm because of this thing.
Broken.
Then it was a matchup against Light Swarms, which was another game I enjoyed because I managed to bash through 2 of his Judgment Dragons and then won from that.
How did you bash through them?
Actually, I think that's when I went Black Rose.
Fair enough.
Because I had the Kagmucha and level 5-1 Grandmaster. And then top 8 I went against Spellbooks, which was Dan Burke's Spellbooks. Basically made Beast, then made Beast, then I won.
And didn't forget to negate. Never gonna live that bugger down.
You said it that time, I wasn't going to. And then top 4 was against Lewis's Medolces. Medolces just did what they did, and I didn't have an answer to it.
And that'll be about it. He made it to top 4. I just wanted to get the video out because I haven't been able to go for the last few weeks. Look for the testing that we did on Friday coming up over the next week. And thank you and goodbye.
Bye.